ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am Jonathan Sprung, your host, joined, as always, by SFL CEO, Mr. Zach Stanley.
That sound is so sweet.
What, me saying Zach Stanley?
No, you saying Rochester.
What's Rochester?
The place that I brought you to.
That's embarrassing. You brought me?
I
Did
had
you,
you-
like, did you pick me up and swaddle me?
I might as well have.
Oh, that's weird. Speaking of swaddling, Nick
And,
Steblenko, Teddy
and
Bear
of
2's here.
Rochester.
Swaddling and waddling.
I didn't say waddling. You just said that.
I know. I was just doing my. But what's that guy's name? The NBA announcer?
Styling and profile. Marv Albert?
Yeah, or whoever. I don't know.
What? Are you talking about
Swishing
swishing and
and
dishing?
dishing.
Walt Clyde Frazier?
Oh,
Oh,
Clyde
my.
Frazier.
Let's-
See, that's why I turn to you for these things.
You know
I
what?
don't know
Let's
this.
never bring up Walt Clyde Frazier's name. He is the most incoherent human being during NBA
Scintillating
games.
and titillating.
Yeah, he just makes up. I think he has a thesaurus in front of him and just like opens to a page and rhymes that with something else.
I
Enjoy
told
it.
you they had that contest where like you come up with
Stupid
or
things.
you say whatever you thought Walt Clyde Frazier's best little rhyme saying was.
Come on, it's
and
fun.
you could win like dinner with him or something.
It's fun.
That
I
would be
love dinner with him.
incredible.
That would be a great time.
That would be so
Hold
funny.
on, I don't want to win dinner with Walt Clyde Frazier.
Whining
I
and
want to be
dining.
no. I want to be able to broadcast a game next to him. Anytime he says something dumb, I want to go no.
Imagine having a picture of you and Walt Clyde Frazier over a candlelight dinner.
You know who's missing from that?
Fighting and fighting.
You know who's missing from that is Craig Sayer because they both wear ridiculous outfits. While Clyde Frazier's like, I'm old. It doesn't matter. I'm rich. Who cares?
Walt is still like I don't know, what is he, 60? He's
Yeah.
still an ultimate ladies' man in his, in his own mind, I think, actually.
Believe me. If you dress like that, you're getting the ladies. Come on now. Plaid suits all the time.
Well, I think if you dress like that and you can actually carry it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I couldn't
you
do
could.
that.
We should come on, John.
You want
could
to
do it.
Do you
could
want to
pull
tape?
it off.
You want to tape the Star
We should have
Fantasy League
Walt
show? that
Clyde
way?
Frazier Day.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. During the NBA season, we're gonna get Walt Clyde Frazier on the Star Fantasy League show because guess what? We can.
Tying and crying over John.
Yeah, tweet us a pic of what kind of suit you'd like us to wear.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
cheap enough, then we'll get it.
Tweet us at SFL Show. We'll do it. We'll send out some pictures wearing ridiculous Walt Clyde Frazier suits. All right, we got to get to it's a big day.
Wait, do we have stuff to talk about today? I thought we
Maybe.
were
I
just
don't
gonna-
really know. No, we got a big day on the Star Fantasy League show. A lot going on. 15 games to talk about for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. That's the last segment of the day. As always, we're breaking down value plays, top plays, stacks of the day. We got all of that.
Don't get overwhelmed.
But don't worry, to just kind of mitigate all that craziness, we have Jonathan's mailbag to kind of lighten the mood up a little bit. And leading off the show today, as always, we have an MLB lineup breakdown. But above all else, we like to be accountable on the Star Fantasy League show. Most fantasy shows or whoever talks fantasy on ESPN or whatever it is, they just pick their guys.
And you never hear about
You never
it.
hear about it again, right? That's a problem.
I think it's something that we aim to correct.
That is very true.
We need to own up to our faults and gloat about our victories.
That's true. That's why we preach accountability on the Star Fantasy League show. So we're going over the guys we had yesterday for our plays of the day, and we're seeing how they actually did. Nick, you want to start us off? What you got?
Yeah, I got one absolutely right in Jared Weaver, and then I got one terribly, terribly wrong in Yoenis Cespedes.
Okay,
so I got both ends of the spectrum there.
And then I think your Oakland stack was horrible.
Yeah, well, you know what happened?
They had one hit.
They had one hit, and they ended up winning 3-2.
Yeah,
fantastic. That's baseball for you, right?
All right,
there.
what about you, Zach?
Waka was okay. He didn't last as long as I had hoped. I can't remember who my
And then
hitter
they
was.
they blew the win.
You guys remember who my hitter was?
Yeah, you had one of the Yankees, didn't you?
No, because the Yankees were for today. Because Noesi was supposed to
That's
pitch
true.
today.
Yep, you're right.
We're gonna have to come.
Yeah,
back
we'll
to
come
it.
back to it. I got mine here. I'm very upset that I switched my play of the day. I always stick with who it is. I had Ryu, and then I switched to Eovaldi. Luckily, I had both of them in my lineup, but Ryu killed it, 9.2 points for under 10,000. And I had Tulo. Oops.
Yeah, that was a big oops.
He had one strikeout.
It's tough when you pick somebody that's really overvalued and they don't come through for you.
Yeah. And you know what the funny thing is? In my lineup,
Slam.
we actually went over my lineup yesterday. I didn't end up putting him in because I couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
I just straight up could not afford him. And
I mean, I just feel like he's at that point, you know? He is ridiculously expensive. And
Yeah,
baseball
that's
is not
true.
like basketball where you're going to be getting the ball every single night here. So
All right, so we got to get into MLB lineup breakdown for today. It's time, right?
It's time.
Let's get
Run
into it.
that.
Let's do this.
run that.
Time for your Star Fantasy Leagues MLB Fantasy Lineup Breakdown.
Yeah, you heard the man. You apparently heard Nick talking over the segment because that's what he does on the Star Fantasy League show. It's time to break down, but we're going to go over our plays of the day for today. It doesn't mean we have them in our lineups. It just means we like them.
Nice job, Nick.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot,
it's all right.
Chris.
Nick's never been on the radio before. Oh, wait, he's been on the radio for like 3 months and still doesn't know what's going on.
Hey, you're the show's host.
Oh, yeah,
You're
because
supposed to
I
keep
can
me under
stop
control.
I can stop you from speaking.
He's
That's
eating
fine.
a cookie right
I know.
now.
All right, Zach, give me your plays of the day, your top pitcher and top batter for today.
Okay, my top pitcher for today was Zach Greinke,
Okay.
and I've got Jacoby Ellsbury at hitter. Very favorable matchup for him. We love all the lefties on the Yankees,
Except for the fact that
except for the fact that no SC isn't
no
going
S is
anymore.
gone. Oops.
Yeah, Chris Sale is magically pitching
Yes,
tonight.
so
They made an
let's just
overnight
move,
pitching change.
Let's just move my Jacoby pick to tomorrow because that's what I'm going to
Yeah,
talk about.
that's
I was going to
basically
say
what
the
it is.
same exact thing.
All right, what
I-
about you, Nick?
I had Lance Lynn, and I believe I had Teixeira,
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah, you did have
Teixeira.
So, yeah, I mean, same thing. Shift Teixeira over to tomorrow.
Although, I mean, he is a switch hitter, though. You mentioned that earlier. He
Yeah,
can still Sale's coming back from injury.
I like Sale, though. Sale
that's true.
he is a very good pitcher. He's pretty
Yeah, he's
solid.
been
so.
dominant.
All right, not only do I preach accountability, I preach not changing my pick. I'm sticking with Solarte. We all had Yankees. I'm going to pick him again tomorrow, but we're sticking with him. And I had Elias or Elias. We haven't figured out how to pronounce his
Elias.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to pronounce his name. We can't do it. I don't know how
Can
to
Nick
do
and
it.
I give substitute picks?
You already whatever. It doesn't matter.
Pitcher changed.
I'll go with Yadier Molina.
Okay.
And I'm taking David Ortiz.
Perfect. Let's do it. All right, let's go down my lineup. I'm going to start off with a boy that you just mentioned, Yadier Molina at catcher. Do you have any problem with that now?
I think he's the best play of the night at catcher. I mean, if you look up and down the board, nobody's better than him. He has a great matchup
And
tonight.
still with the way that he's playing, his salary is going to continue to go up, I would say. But pretty viable right now.
You know I like to pick against Miley
I was going to say 2 words, Wade Miley. Not good. Not good.
and Miley Cyrus.
No,
Also not
it
good.
has nothing to do with it.
How dare you bring up Miley Cyrus on a fantasy show?
Even for Wade Miley,
Negative
who is-
comparison. Negative
even
comparison.
for a struggling starting pitcher, I think he'd be offended to hear his name grouped with Miley Cyrus.
All right.
Yeah, most likely. All right, moving on. You know what the funny thing is? I don't have a crazy – no, I mean, I have a sort of stack. I did go with a lot of the St. Louis guys because Wade Miley.
Yeah, I mean, he has a high home run rate. I just love that. Whenever you can find a group of righties. I love St. Louis for a stack, too, because they really actually have an affordable stack lineup. You know,
Yep.
you look at Colorado, you have Tulowitzki, Blackman, and all those guys that are really high priced. And then if you can get St. Louis and get a bunch of righties in there like Alan Craig and Matt Holliday and
Right,
the
if you
sort.
can get a bunch of power guys on a certain side of the plate that is favorable
Do
against
it.
a struggling pitcher, you should be in like mint.
I like it, so you got a bunch of them.
That is what I ended up doing. I said I had Yadier Molina. I also have Matt Holliday. And the third guy I went with is Matt Adams, 51-47 on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
That's solid.
Yeah, I just like going after it. If you're gonna pick against a bad pitcher, just do as much as you can. I think I had 4 guys in here, but I couldn't figure out a shortstop I liked at the price point, so I ended up having to switch some guys around. But yeah, Matt Adams in my utility spot. Then I have a bunch of. I spent money on a lot of power hitters today. I went with Chris Davis as my first baseman.
Hitting really well, really, as of late. I mean, he had that 2 home run game 2 nights ago. 3 home runs, sorry, 3
Yep.
home run game. So, yeah, good time.
And we have we just have a pitching change. Masterson's moved up a day, so he's going to pitch instead of Josh Tomlin. I actually don't hate that. Masterson has not been good this year.
No, I think it's a good one, too, because I was saying to Zach earlier, his fastball just kind of hangs right over the plate, so it's a great home run ball.
And I know that Brantley is getting so high right now, but oh my lord,
Yeah,
He's still good. I still like it.
he's dominating.
I do.
Yeah.
I do have Michael Brantley in there against Chen. Not so good against lefties, and guess what? Brantley can do that.
I'm still okay on Chen, though, if you're going to use him in head-to-head games.
Yeah, I have no problem with it, but I'm
You
saying
know, but-
Brantley is going to probably knock him around.
I'm very anti-Chen. I'm not playing him.
Okay, perfect. Another guy I have shortstop as Drupal Cabrera for Cleveland, going up against that same guy.
Yeah.
That was-
I'm
you
so
do have,
on him.
So you do have players against him.
I just said I have Brantley.
Brantley and his Drew
Well,
Cabrera.
then you shouldn't like
both
Chen.
against Chen.
I didn't say I like Chen. I don't have him in my
I
lineup.
heard him like
I
Chen.
heard I
said
heard
he
you
liked
were
Some
okay on Chen.
positivity related
Okay.
to Chen.
I heard positive
Lefties
vibes.
against Chen. Cabrera's a switch hitter. I'm assuming he's going to bat lefty in this game against him. He's whatever.
But,
I mean,
but so you're not advocating for putting in Wei-Yin Chen?
No.
The best rationale when you're looking at fantasy sports for baseball is whatever.
No, hold on. I'll use Nick's thing. It doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter anyways because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, you beating me last night. That doesn't matter. It's
No,
whatever happens.
listen, I think Chen can be used in those games, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of his Asdrubal Cabrera in this matchup. Brantley, yes, because he can hit against any righty. He still hasn't even hit 10,000, so I think his price is still worth it.
Yep. All right, another power guy. My last batter of the night, Nelson Cruz, 92.87, starfantasyleagues.com. I'm going to say it again. I think
you're going Baltimore and St. Louis, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
Those
much.
are the stacks.
Nelly.
I think somebody's going to take Masterson deep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's probably going to be Cruz or Davis, and I have both of them.
So who are your pitchers then?
My pitchers, I have obviously my play of the day alias, Elias. We don't know. Who cares?
Yep.
I went with Lance Lynn, who I believe one of you has their play of the day.
Yeah, that was my guy.
My third one for a little bit of value. Let me know how you guys feel about this. I went with Matt Garza.
I loved Matt Garza. I think that was a great pick. I just think that I think Greinke's too good to pass up on.
Yeah, Nick was talking all about Garza yesterday.
Yeah, the only reason I really like him is because Atlanta is, I believe, top 2 in the league in strikeout percentage.
Yeah.
Matt Garza doesn't have the highest strikeout percentage, but it's high enough at 7.67 per 9 that I think that's probably going to go up a little bit against this Atlanta Braves
it's all
team.
about what you feel like you can afford while still getting viable hitters in your lineup. Greinke tonight, I just don't think it gets much better in terms of
he's going up
Well,
against the Mets.
our
great.
Jason mentioned that there could be some weather issues in this game. Remember, we have 2 hours left, about 2 hours left until lineups lock.
Yep.
Make sure to watch the weather before this game happens.
That's our designer, Jason, at Star Fantasy Leagues, who evidently is also a weatherman.
And a guru of sorts.
Well, he is a guru. He likes to watch all this stuff, so he tells us if something big's happening. He said, make sure to kind of watch out for this game. So
trust in Jason.
Personally, I avoided it. I think everybody in GPPs is going to be on Greinke. I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm fading him.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's fine. Did we talk about Stoltz yesterday? Eric Stoltz for San Diego?
I think somebody was. No, I actually have Arrieta as a guy that I'm looking at. Although the Cubs are really bad, they strike up, but their offense is kind of on the uptick recently in the last couple weeks.
What I ended up doing was putting in Greinke and Eric Stoltz because Stoltz is 4,600, Greinke 17,000, and you're in Petco Park. He's not going to get a lot of strikeouts, but if he goes for a couple of innings, if he gets deeper into the game, possibly throws a quality start, he's actually pitched pretty well at home. So if you're looking to kind of do a high-low, that would be the one that I would roll out.
I would say these are two different ways completely to look at it.
Given the line, he's got a good chance for the win. So.
Yeah, that might be true.
Don't mind getting a win in there.
Out of 4,600, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, you went high-low. I went directly right in the middle with all three pitchers. There's different ways to do it.
I have to go with my second straight win, John.
Oh, man.
Because I did win yesterday.
You had to throw at it.
Of course I did. You didn't give me the credit.
All right, it's 1-1. Coming up after the break, it's time for John Alt's Mailbag, and you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
I've always wanted to know why the voiceover guy in the cage says dig in. What are we digging into?
A lot of stuff that we need to talk about and that I need to rant about, which is a few things based on what happened yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I was going to say, though, the baseball research today was digging in. You had to really dig into 15 games.
Okay, every time there's 15 games, I feel like all of our listeners should just send us like a care package of cookies or goodies of some sort, because we do so much research for this show. It's our job. This is what we do. We look at all the numbers. I have a spreadsheet in front of me that has about, 10, 11 columns of just numbers.
Stack lunch.
What? I'm just going to stare at you until you explain this.
I'm looking for my stacks, and I usually look for them shortly after lunch.
Well, I believe it's John L's mailbag time, not stack alert time. How dare you?
All right. Well, I'm going to answer all these questions, too, perfectly.
All right, Zach's convinced he's just going to take over the show today. It's your show. Go ahead.
Thank you.
No, actually, it's not.
King Stanislaus mailbag.
Although I got to give props to Zach. I had a tough day this morning, and Zach's the one who was looking through the mailbag to get these questions. I usually go through our Twitter account. I look and make sure there's some questions, but Zach's like, you know what? I got this.
We keep
today.
them in a burlap sack just in case anybody was wondering.
It's not an actual mailbag. Who sends mail anymore?
What are you talking about? I see it right out there all the time.
Thanks to our new spot in Rochester, the mailbag was buzzing today.
That is true. We appreciate the love, the local love, drive time in Rochester, New York, 105.5 The Team. We appreciate you.
Please don't tweet and drive.
Yeah, who would do that?
Oh, they do.
Oh, you know who?
They
Who
do
does
it.
that? You know who does that for a living?
Me?
No, Seth.
Oh.
Seth Young loves to do that. Loves to take
you
pictures.
You just incriminated him.
He incriminates himself
He's got
all
a
the
gray
time.
Mercedes, so anybody that's listening out there, come over to Goodman
License
Street and
plate
follow
number.
Seth's car around and watch him text.
Yeah, great. We're gonna have the Rochester PD on us.
Sometimes
Thanks.
seen with a French bulldog.
Yeah,
You may see him.
it's ugly and smells. Whatever. Let's get
And
it.
it
Don't
has
hate
a
on
slew
him.
of health problems.
That's
Don't
also
hate on
true.
him.
We should hate on him.
We're going to get PETA on you now. That's
Great.
over.
All right, let's jump right into the mailbag so Zach can rant his head off. Jody D writes, Paul George suffered a concussion after taking a knee to the head from D. Wade in Game 2. If George is forced to miss Game 3, could this cost the Pacers the
It
series?
was on purpose, too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just kidding.
Well, during this actual play, there was basically no acknowledgement from any of the announcers that he had gotten a straight knee to the back of the head. And it looked, I mean, I saw it when it happened live, and then the replay was just, it looked like it absolutely killed.
I mean, that's the worst place that it can happen.
He got,
you get a
he got
direct knee
clocked.
shot.
He didn't get a foul call, which he should have, because Dwayne Wade was scrambling over his fallen body and kneed him.
Scrambling over his fallen body.
That's all I have to say. No, I have a lot more to
Limbs
say.
flying everywhere.
I was gonna say, I don't think you have. Yeah, you have a lot more to say.
And so he ends up getting a concussion. He stays in the game. Nobody knows he has a concussion. The NBA tests aren't nearly as rigorous as the NFL, for good reason, because it rarely happens. I don't know what it's like for him, like what he has to do to pass the test to play on Saturday.
He can't start. No symptoms for 24 hours. Zero lingering effects.
Well, it's a good thing that
That's
good thing
the
that
NBA rule.
Yep.
yeah, it's a good thing Game 3 is like
I think it's
Seven
I think
days
that's
from now.
ridiculous.
Why?
Because what are the odds that he gets another concussion? Like
What are the
zero.
odds that the NBA can get sued by former players for having concussions?
Zero?
they're being
100%.
they're being proactive only because the
So
other
you're saying
leagues-
that's going to happen?
No, okay, all right. That's not what I'm saying.
All right. Well, the thing here is, I really hope that this, that it doesn't. It's so rare that these guys get concussions. Obviously, pretty much if this had happened, I don't know, any other year almost, a decade ago, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
good that they have these precautions, but it happens so infrequently in the NBA. This is just terrible, and I really hope that he's good to go because it could be so detrimental to them if they go down 2-1. He's coming back. Maybe he's not as fresh. Who knows? It's a big concern, and you know that. I mean, for all the things that I say about the Miami Heat, they don't want Paul George to be out for this game. This ruins the excitement of the series. There is no way that they can win a game without Paul
I was
George.
gonna say, do you really want more
No way.
excuses? Do you really want more excuses if Miami wins? Oh yeah, no, there was no Paul George.
No,
That's
I don't
why it
think
happened.
anybody wants that anymore. I mean, they've already done it for the past 3 years. They've been in the finals. They've won back-to-back years. Nobody wants any more excuses. We're past it. We're tired of it.
And for all the complaining that we did about this little 4-day break, it could end up working out the best for the Pacers.
It's annoying. It really, the scheduling, this needs to stop. This is why the playoffs last 3
Thursday
months.
and Friday, it gets to the end of the week, and I don't get to watch a conference final game.
Well, guess what? I mean, you know what? Is there a hockey game or a basketball game on every night? I think there is. That might be what it is.
Could be.
Thank you, NHL and NBA.
Well, based on what
sort
happened
of.
in Game 2, Game 1 of the Pacers and Game 1 of the Blackhawks on Sunday, both one at 3 and one at 3:30. They
Oh,
clearly
thanks.
aren't coordinating.
No, they definitely aren't. Gary Bettman doesn't call any of these people. He doesn't care.
No,
he says, this is my league. We don't care what you say.
Yeah, we're not going to do something that's actually best for our viewership.
Of course we're not. All right, Donnie M, right? Well, because nobody can find NBC Sports on their dial. It's like 628
Well,
or
that's why they
something.
didn't work out a contract with ESPN 10 years ago.
There you
And
go.
that is why I'm listening to two basketball fans rant about how
Oh.
hockey is interfering with
Oh, you're the
basketball.
worst. All right, Donnie M, right?
Because those
Nope.
two fans are definitely going to be the exact same.
No,
That's
we're-
what they're into.
Who are you talking about?
just
I'm
talking
talking
in
about
general.
your demographic for basketball is going to watch basketball.
My
at 3
demographic?
o'clock. No, the demographic for basketball is going to watch basketball on Sunday at 3. They're not going to be watching hockey.
What is
There's
that
no
demographic?
There's no issue.
What is that demographic?
What do you mean? I don't think that people that watch basketball really enjoy hockey very much. I think those two don't go
That's
hand
a
in hand.
really weird generalization.
I think that if you what the heck are those? If you drew a Venn diagram, you would see that there are not that many people in the middle.
They're not
we are the
they're
select
not
few.
overlapping.
So
we
you
are
mean-
the select
So you
few.
mean everybody in Boston is in the middle of that Venn diagram because they all love the Bruins and the Celtics?
That's a completely different argument.
Is it, though?
That is a completely different
I don't
argument.
think. All right, we got to move on. Donnie M writes, the Spurs shredded the Thunder in a 35-point drubbing last night. That's my favorite word, by the way, drubbing. Do the Thunder even have a chance at winning a game in this series, or should the Spurs get the brooms ready? Wow, that's aggressive.
They have a chance to win one game.
That's at 5? We're getting out of 5?
Yeah.
That was nice. That's a nice way of putting it. They have a shot.
That's about as good as it gets for them because
They've looked so
they looked miserable.
bad.
I was watching. First of all, Scott Brooks. I don't know where he is coming off making the comments that he does in his press conferences, because this whole we need to do better, and all of the players need to play better, including me. I don't even know what that means.
What do you mean? That's just that's the normal crap.
I know, but
the normal broken
the way
record.
that he commented acted like he was a player.
That's the cliche.
But yeah, it is the cliche. But it's
Surprise
like,
cliches
it's like,
in
all
press
right,
conferences.
I feel like that's a game 1 cliche.
Yeah, but I mean,
game 2.
What are you going to say? You just got pounded by 35 points.
I would be furious.
Okay, yeah, but you can't do that. You can't go out into a press conference and show that you're completely frustrated with your team and that you think your team doesn't have a shot.
Yeah, I could ask for something better than vanilla Eric Spoelstra.
But it's not gonna get your team to play better. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to go into a press conference and you're not going to go and say all the negative things that they've done all game long and then expect them to come out and respect you the next game. Yeah, but it's the
actual natural quality of the press conference that somebody like Greg Popovich wouldn't come up. We need to get better. We just need to do a lot better. That's not what he would say.
Bill Belichick would.
No,
and
Bill Belichick would be
out a way to
pissed
get it
and
done.
be like, "We sucked."
Yeah,
but he wouldn't be. You wouldn't.
And he'd just sit there and say one word every question.
That sounds about right. But this game was an absolute shellacking.
And then Russell Westbrook is like, we got to keep doing what got us here. We got to keep playing the same way.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was great.
And it's like, dude,
nope.
this
numbers
is
even
exactly
tell you.
what happens to you every year. Is that you don't change how you play, and you get to this position where your sheer athleticism isn't going to accomplish a win against a big team.
Well, I have a question. Did they run that small lineup I just completely destroyed the other day where it was Durant at the 5 and then 4 guards? Did they run that again?
I don't think they did.
I really hope not, because that's just embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that. Why would you do that?
They
that
did
just doesn't
twice.
Make sense.
They ran that lineup
no, I know.
2 different times.
I understand. The analysis tells you, we've seen the numbers before. When those two are on the floor together, they are far less efficient than most other combinations on that team.
And people that say
it doesn't work.
People that say that the Spurs are boring aren't really watching what's going on out there.
Oh, okay.
Because you could say in the early 2000s that they were boring just because they were such a good defensive team, but the passes that they make now, one of them that had a Tony Parker last night behind his neck to Thiago Splitter, under an arm to Tim Duncan for a dunk. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, these guys are so good, and they play the game right.
They are a team.
They play so efficiently, it's ridiculous.
That's
they
why
have a chance to win it all this year.
That's why I feel like you have to root for this team. If you love the sport, you have to root for this team. They play together. They don't play individually.
For some reason, these questions just go towards your team. I don't know how this is happening, Zach. Last question, Eddie C. writes, Miguel Cabrera, wow, I can spell and talk. Miguel Cabrera and Tigers manager Brad Ausmus were both ejected from yesterday's crazy Tigers-Indians game for arguing a check swing. Thanks to the new replay rules, this type of altercation is becoming increasingly rare. Is this for better or worse?
Well, I mean, it's fun to watch them get all fired up.
I was going to say, it makes me really depressed. You don't get to see, every night on SportsCenter, some idiot manager freaking out and, screaming his brains out.
I'm going to miss that. I am going to miss that part of baseball where you say, I can't believe they made that call.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, it's in so many ways it's for better of the game that these calls actually get made correctly.
Yeah, we've already seen it happen earlier in the season.
Several times. But, man, I miss guys like Lou Piniella just kicking up dirt and stuff like that.
We need Lou Piniella to be a first base coach for a team just to kick bases, just do stupid things.
I think they should just start putting the worst signal callers behind the plate, so that ends up being the guys that
would be really because there's no replays for balls or strike, obviously. Right. But yeah, if you put the worst one behind the plate, that would cause some pretty funny fights.
I feel like baseball has always been that sport where it's better in person if you're just there to relax, enjoy the game, and then every once in a while you get a manager that gets all fired up, goes stomping out of the dugout and starts kicking up dirt, and it's like, this is hilarious. This is great.
The problem with
awesome.
the problem with replay is now that managers are stalling. They just go out there to talk to the umpire to have their guy in the booth look at the replay to see if he should challenge.
There will never be another Lou Piniella, another Bobby Cox.
Nope.
That era is over because there's no way at this point that replay is going away because it's clearly better overall for the sport. These were just some really fun times.
But how about that game, though? That game was crazy. The balk off finish, all three umpires were running in at the same time going, balk! They all wanted to, fight for the first call.
It was such a slight move, too.
No, I mean, you saw his hand go up.
He knew
down.
Knew it.
See, I don't understand that rule then, I guess.
If you
I'd have to
start
look at
and
it
then
again.
you go back to original
because it
motion.
looked like he's coming back to his wind-up. And so that flinch causes players to do different things.
Yeah. I feel like
it's the same
thing. I feel like
thing.
it's very ticky-tacky.
I know, but there's a reason that it's there, because if you were to do it in the stretch, then people could really be moving. I mean, that's when somebody would try to steal, or if they even had a play to hit and run, steal home, and they start running. That's what a balk is.
Fair enough.
It's unfortunate.
Quickly, can we please talk about that amazing video we saw at the Red Sox game of the kid catching is in quotes, catching a foul ball because it fell into his lap basically, and he was such a boss.
Basically like a magnet. It was great.
That might have been one of the fun. And his girlfriend was freaking out. He's like, "Yeah, I got a ball."
What would you do if that happened?
I would just stare at the hard camera and be like, "Yeah, that happened."
Just give a quick flex.
Yeah, just throw some guns up. Whatever, things happen.
Someday we'll catch a fly ball.
Someday we will, but someday is not today. And today, we're breaking down some value plays for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Coming after the break, we're doing it. It's baseball time. You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at StarFantasyLeagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League Show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on The Team.
You heard the man. We are only on 105.5 The Team in Rochester, New York.
Well, we get to hear the man referring to me as the Deucey Moose, the man in the cage. It just makes me feel like we made it.
For those of you who are,
We're there. We're at the next level.
For those of you calling Child Protective Services, the man in the cage is here willingly. We let him out occasionally. We give him food and water. Stop calling the cops on us. It's
Our
not
office
cool.
is air conditioned.
Yeah, that's true.
At times.
We have a water bottle for him to feed off
The air conditioner goes off at 8 p.m.
This is the weirdest thing I will never understand about you two.
What, the fact that the man in the cage is an actual thing we talk about?
Keep a man
Nick
in
hates
a cage
Nick hates the
in your
man in the
minds.
cage, and I don't know why.
I
He
don't
does so
hate
much
him at
for us.
all. I would set him free if he were there.
Well,
He has a salary. He just can't leave the cage and use it.
Yeah, that's true. So the money just piles up in gold. It's kind of weird. I'm not a fan. All right, we got to get to some baseball for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
It's sad.
You know what? No sadness. There's baseball. There's 15 games to talk about. We spent 87 hours compiling data so that our listeners on the Star Fantasy League show could be better at daily fantasy sports.
I don't get overwhelmed anymore with these large slates. I used to get really overwhelmed.
It's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to look at.
You keep a paper bag at your desk?
But if you are a stack guy like me, target 2 or 3 teams that you want to stack. That's what I've got written down. That's what I've done here. These are the teams that you want to target, and I will tell you all about them.
Stanley Stackoslaus.
All right, before we get into it, I got to give a little bit of a spiel since I didn't do it today. To play daily fantasy baseball on StarFantasyLeagues.com, you get $100,000.
You got to sign up.
Thank you. I think they're already past that point, Zach. All right, once you've signed up, you have an account, you click on a game, you get involved, you get a $100,000 salary cap. You got to pick one each of all the positional plays, right? Catcher, first base, second, all that good stuff.
Which is awesome because you get to fill up a whole field.
You
Your
do.
own personal field of dreams.
And you get 3 outfielders and 1 utility. That's any position you want, any offensive position. You get 2 starting pitchers, 1 relief pitcher, and a wild card. That's any pitcher you want, relief or starter.
Or a Buffalo Bill.
No.
And I got some wild cards.
Oh, you got some wild cards, all right. I bet you do.
Actually, I do.
All right, you know what, Zach? You mentioned off the top that you have 3 stacks. That's putting in 4 players, usually 4. It could be 2, 3, 4. The maximum on StarFantasyLeagues.com is 4 that you can put in from one offensive team. Let me know where we're looking for your first stack, and we'll
The first stack I would like to discuss is Chase Anderson versus the New York Mets.
You're not a fan of a guy that's made 2 starts and has looked pretty terrible?
Pretty abysmal, pretty bad versus righties and lefties. Even though he's a righty, the stats dictate that it really doesn't matter. He's got a 25.8 ground ball percentage, which is absolutely abysmal.
I know it's only 2 starts, but even if that number is that low at any point in your starts, that's bad. That means you are just giving up long fly balls, pop up. It's not good.
Speaking of long fly balls, he has a 23.1% home run to fly ball ratio, which is pretty much as bad as it gets.
Yep.
I mean, obviously we have a shorter sample size here, I don't really care because these numbers are so inflated. Even if they get cut in half, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, 1 out of 4 balls going in the air, going over the fence is not a good thing.
I was going to say, you're saying that's not positive? No?
That is a negative.
All right, since you're saying you're stacking against him, that means you're picking some Mets. I assume you're going, you said Rays or are you going for everybody?
I've got the two.
I've got some Mets for you.
I've got the 2 through 5 guys. I've got Murphy, Wright, Young, and Granderson. And also 4.01 xFIP for Chase Anderson. So even though his ERA is a little higher than that, he's not good.
Nope.
he's just not good.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? You talked about one stack. Let's just get them all out of the way. Talk about the stacks we like. Actually, is there anything else from that game you're looking at? Because Chase Anderson, 49.90. It's so enticing to look at that number and say, oh, I could fit in some big guys. But I think there's a lot of flat, like between maybe 8,000 and 12,000 pitchers that you can put in that you don't even need to look a second time at Chase Anderson.
There's a ton of them out there.
No, there's so many options tomorrow. And there's actually some of the top-level guys are a little low right now thanks to some recent performance issues.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw.
Okay, we haven't talked about him yet. We haven't talked about him yet.
I know, that's why I said Clayton Kershaw. All right, so what else are we stacking?
We are stacking the Yankees. Obviously, Nick and I talked about this thinking that Hector Noesi would be pitching.
Whoa. Not just you two. I also took a Yankee yesterday.
You also took a
Yankee.
Yankee.
We had 3 Yankees.
He is just awful. A .426 WOBA, weighted on base average versus left-handed batters, 37.5 ground ball percentage. Even though we talked about Chase Anderson being at 25.8, 37.5 is still awful.
Anything under 40, I think anything under 40% is pretty bad.
43 is pretty bad. And Mark Teixeira, Brian McCann, Ellsbury, Solarte. I literally do like the whole Yankees team pretty much.
You can only take 4.
They have a lethal left-handed lineup, so you can pretty much pick whoever you like.
Okay, so I'll take the first 4 that I said there.
Noesi is the lethal fantasy combo that's bad against lefties and bad against righties, which is just it's a formula you absolutely love. Not to mention BABIP, that kind of says balls in play if he's getting unlucky or lucky. He's at 3.376, which means not good.
Not good.
Which means he's getting extremely lucky in the field of play, and that ERA could come up if he gets a little bit more closer to average instead of being super lucky.
Yeah, and his ERA is like 7 right now.
Yeah, that's bad.
Which, I mean, we don't really like to talk about ERA that much.
But. Yeah, no. Well, okay. When you look at ERA and then you look at BABIP, if he's already got a high ERA and he's got a high BABIP, you're in trouble. That means getting lucky and getting unlucky at the same time in ERA. So we have a problem. We all are on the Yankees bandwagon. We got one more to talk about. What was your third stack?
The Marlins, who are at home versus the Milwaukee Brewers, and Marco Estrada, dating back to the beginning of 2013, versus right-handed batters, .329 WOBA, which is not very good, but more importantly, 17 home runs given up in 90 innings, which is like
on Estrada?
Absurd.
On
Estrada. 17 and 90. Stanton, McGahee, and Saltalamacchia, I all like from the right side of the plate.
You like the salty dog.
He's a reverse split guy, Marco Estrada, right-handed pitcher, but also a .394 WOBA this year. Woof.
I love it. So you like 3 batters from that game, not a full stack?
Yeah, those are the righties that I really like, and although he has been a lot better versus the left-handed batters, so I'm sticking with the righties.
Yeah, he actually, like we said, he is a reverse split guy. Great, not great. He's pretty good against lefties, but just atrocious against righties. So reverse split, interesting because you usually assume a righty.
I think I got Nick thinking a little bit. I smell wood burning.
Oh, you smell wood. He's heating up. No, he's not actually heating up today.
He's smiling.
All right, so we basically mentioned a lot of offense that's happening. I personally like to go a little bit different. I'm going to mention one of the stacks that I'm interested in, and that is the St. Louis Cardinals going up against Homer Bailey. He's a name that just doesn't have it this year. He really doesn't.
Yeah, Homer Bailey was actually one of the guys I was looking at as well. I was trying to pick some of the bigger bats that I thought could get home runs that have been putting up a decent amount of runs so far this year. But, ugh.
Well, I mean, okay, this is my thinking. Homer Bailey's just been awful. He's getting lucky. He's given up it's like a little over 1.5 home runs per 9. But the thing is, there's a lot of Cardinals hitters who are actually hitting really well in their career against him. I know you don't like to talk about this batter versus pitcher thing, but over a larger sample, I think Adams, Carpenter, Molina, and Holiday all have large sample sizes, and they're all actually hitting, I believe, over 300. I believe Adams is hitting over 400 against him. And hold on, Molina and Holiday combined have 5 home runs.
And I think the
Tomorrow.
over-under in this game at 7 is so low just because of how these offenses have been playing.
Okay, and hold on.
yeah.
I noticed this.
But-
Cincinnati's a huge favorite in this game, and it makes no sense
Well,
in my
Shelby
brain.
Miller actually has been one of those pitchers that has kind of gotten lucky so far this year.
He has.
His XFIP is much
different.
higher than his ERA.
Yep.
And I mean, there's a chance any game now that he could get crushed. His ground ball percentage isn't great. His home run percentage is actually pretty high.
And 5 walks a game. Oi. That's how you get runners on base
he's gonna
and
get in
score.
trouble.
See, but
Sooner
the
or
thing,
later.
the thing of it is that Cincinnati has so many injuries on that team.
Yep.
It's not
Yeah,
worth
the
going
lineups that
into
they're
it.
putting together are just not
I think-
high-quality,
I think
high-power
we're-
lineups.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't like the favorite on Cincy there.
Yeah,
That
it doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, we're not talking about that. We're talking about from a fantasy perspective, but it's interesting to look at these numbers and see what they actually mean and decipher them and all that. But
Definitely.
we've talked about basically as many hitters as you can possibly talk about.
I have one interesting thing that I was looking at tomorrow, and R.A. Dickey's on the mound for Toronto. I'm not really looking too much at the big bats because whenever you have a knuckleballer, you have that propensity to actually strike out when you have a big bat. So guys like Brandon Moss and Josh Reddick, I'm really not looking at those guys. What I am looking at, though, he has a very high walk ratio. It's 4.5 over 9 innings. And I like some of those top runners, Coco Crisp and John Jaso, those two guys at the top of the order. They could get around. They're a little bit more valuable. You have 5,300 for John Jaso and 79, which is a little bit high
Could
for
be
Coco.
favorable if you're looking at double-up tournaments.
Exactly.
Walks count a lot more in those.
You know, and
ones
that's
when you need
something
every point you can get.
That's something I don't see a lot of people looking at. You could actually have an advantage over your opponent in that one.
Perfect. And also, we have to mention this. Miguel Cabrera absolutely dominates Scott Baker in his career. That's something to look at. 12 for 35.
I think the Tigers are a stack worth looking
Absolutely.
at as well.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Scott Baker only played 1 game, but in his career, pretty good against him. All right, we got to talk about some pitchers. Let's name a few that you like. Tell us why you like them real quick. We got about 3 minutes.
Felix.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Felix.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I know. But
Come on, you can
these
take
are-
advantage of
these
it.
guys are actually reasonably affordable. Felix Hernandez, 15,576 at Star Fantasy Leagues, 2.84 XFIP, 50% ground ball percentage, 5.9 home run to fly ball percentage, which is amazing. Astros hitting really struggling.
And Houston is, I think, bottom 3 in the league in strikeouts. So sorry,
there you go.
I guess top 3 if you're considering from a pitcher standpoint. So they strike out quite a bit. That's a stat I love to look at. The teams that are in the top 5 in strikeout percentage, which means if you got a pitcher who has a high strikeout rate
You got a
against
favorable
a team,
pitcher going in
that's-
there, then you got a great chance of putting up a lot of points.
That's actually why I'm interested in. Surprisingly, I'm interested in Jordan Lyles for 10,180. Hasn't been terrible. Only around six strikeouts per 9. But Atlanta, again, I think they're top. They're around the 5 mark for strikeout percentage, and they just haven't been good recently. They're 29th overall against righties. This is just matchups I like.
There's something weird about that game. You saw the over-under is at 10.
It's a 10, yeah.
You know, Gavin Floyd's pitching well, too.
Yeah,
and I was looking at
this
his
is something.
numbers.
It's not in Colorado either, so I don't know where this line came from.
You know, one of the things that I look at across the board for pitchers is, do they have consistent numbers? You know, when you're talking about the difference between their ERA and their XFIP, if there's a big difference between those two numbers, something's wrong one way or the other. And there's really nothing across the board for him. He has a really good strikeout ratio and a really low walk percentage.
Yep.
It just, I don't know. I mean, and
It's
Carlos
strange.
Gonzalez is injured, by the way. He's out. He won't be in. So there's one of the left-handed batters for Colorado. Something's weird about this game, so I might.
And there are some
stay
there
away.
are some sites out there that actually have team run totals, which can help you out when you're looking at a spread to see what they're predicted to score over under.
And Colorado's one of those
All right.
big bat teams.
Quickly,
so.
who are some other pitchers you like we're targeting? Just
Clayton Kershaw is going to be in my lineup.
Yep,
I know
he's 12th now.
Nick
He's-
mentioned him earlier.
he's low.
13,400, 58.1% ground ball percentage, 1.90 XFIP, 6.3 home run percentage, and 11.28 Ks per 9 innings. Philly's traveling from Miami to Philly. I think they're going to have a little bit of a layover.
Oh, the Dodgers are traveling, yeah.
It's a perfect setup to tomorrow.
It really
I think,
is.
For
It's
Clayton
about as low
Kershaw.
as you're going to get him.
Big bounce back game.
All right, who do you like?
The
Quick.
other one I would say is Hiroki Kuroda, just based on the fact that
Perfect.
Noesi could get lit up.
Well, not only that, but again, all Chicago teams, they just strike out quite a bit. Top 5 in strikeout
Yeah,
percentage. These
absolutely.
are things you got to look at when you're trying to pick a pitcher. Make sure they strike out a lot.
Definitely.
That's good.
Hopefully
Lots of
we
points.
helped out today.
All right, coming after the break, it's time to name all of our plays of the day on StarFantasyLeagues.com and wrap the show up. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
That is right. All you got to do is tweet us at SFL Show if you want to make fun of our picks, if you want to ask us who to start, who to stack, any of that good stuff, or if you just want to say hello at SFL Show.
Or if you want to join Team Steblenko over Team Jonold and get on the train for the whole season.
It's currently 1-1.
And it's going to be 20-1.
Yeah, if you tweet with the hashtag Team Nick or Team Jonold, I'm okay with that. That happens.
Or Team Zach.
You don't make a team. It's me and him fighting.
Well, I think it's just people that want to be on my team in general.
Or Team Bills.
Yeah. Oh, God. Get out of here
Team Rock
with
the
that.
Bills.
Like in the Teddy T tournament, which we have in Rochester every year, my 3-man basketball team, you can be on it.
Yeah. All right, we got to get into our plays of the day for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Nick, start us off.
All right, I'm going to start off with King Felix Hernandez as my pitcher.
Oh, really? You're going with King Felix? Oh, really?
Oh, stop.
You gave me
Get
crap
outta
yesterday.
Here. Get out of here. All right, he's around 15.5. So I just love his matchup against Houston, and I think he's going to mow some dudes down.
Wow, that is some analysis.
Yes,
that's some analysis right there.
Batter of the day is going to be Miggy Cabrera. I think that, I mean, they're going up against Scott Baker, and his numbers don't say that he should be doing pretty well. So great stack there, too. I'm going to take the Tigers stack.
Clayton Kershaw will inch close to a complete game tomorrow.
You think so? After his absolute implosion in the last
I think
start?
he'll have a massive bounce-back game and just about as good a matchup as it gets. And he's my play of the day. So I've also got Giancarlo Stanton. He's right around 10,000 for Miami. Love Miami right-handed bats tomorrow against Marco Estrada. I think he's going to be the guy just on a tear this year, playing like one of the top guys in the league.
You've been riding Giancarlo Stanton pretty hard. You like him,
It's worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll ride him, and I'll keep riding him.
Wow.
And then my stack is as we've spoken before, the Yankees.
You know what? I'm going to
get the left-handed bats out and just put Noesi into another column.
Yeah, Nick's going to absolutely hate me for this. We're both diehard Red Sox fans, but I'm going pretty much all Yankees for my plays of the day. Love Hiroki Kuroda, like you said. Opposing a pitcher that's probably going to get lit up, so that's probably an easy win there. The Chicago White Sox strike out at a very, very high rate. They're about top 3 in the league. That's the recipe for a disaster for Chicago.
Absolutely.
And that means win for Kuroda.
And win for your daily fantasy baseball lineup.
I feel really good about our Big Slate Friday.
Yeah, I love this Friday. It's so much to look at, but you really get to pinpoint what you like, and there's a lot of parity.
People out there, don't be afraid to ride our coattails and flip out at us.
It's
if
true.
We,
I have to continue my Yankee thing though, Zach. You're killing me here. I love Tex. 8 home runs against righties this season. He's just under 9,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com. I wanted to pick him the other day. Nick, you picked him, but I get to open the floodgates. It's my turn.
So you just took his Tex pick against the pitcher that he picked.
I like Kuroda, and I like Tex.
I am the knowledge.
Yep, sure, fine. You're the knowledge. I don't know what that means.
Well, you guys are going to prove it throughout the course of the season. Who is the knowledge?
Yeah, I'm not going with the Yankees as my actual stack of the day, though. I'm going with St. Louis. Load up on the righties for St. Louis. Not the best matchup. Homer Bailey, terrible
but you
man.
can take advantage of that all the way to the bank.
Yeah, you can. I might end up going with both the Yankees and the Cardinals. And do I have a value play? Yeah, let's go with Matt Adams from the Cardinals. I like that for some value, right? If I'm going with the whole team, I may as well throw some value in there.
I said it before, John Jay, so I'm interested to see if this works out. I haven't tried this strategy before, so we'll see.
Yeah, whatever. Let's
I'm
going
to try it out. We're going to give it a shot. See if he gets on base.
All right. So we got a lot going on StarFantasyLeagues.com. The baseball season is in full swing. We got some football on the horizon. I smell it.
As CEO of Star Fantasy Leagues, I really want to give these people $5. Some days, I'm not in a very giving mood, but I'll give it to them today.
Wait, so how are you going to give them $5?
All they have to do is sign up and tweet at us.
Okay.
Just give us your username.
Tweet at us at SFL Show with your new username. That's all you have to do. Don't do it while you're driving. Get home. Tweet us at SFL Show. $5 free deposit in your account. Yeah, don't be Seth Young. Please, don't do it.
Can we add an extra $1 if they put hashtag Team Steblenko?
No. No, we cannot. That's never going to happen.
If you give me the $1, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Let's just have a rebate for Zach Stanley. Not going to happen. Thousands of dollars in guarantee games going on every single day. And if you're not riding Giancarlo Stanton, we'll help you make a better lineup next time. Take it easy, guys.